Dillon, you know okay?
Yes, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about the other quarterbacks in the room. And we talked to you early. What's their progression been like? Talk a little bit about Nick Evers and some of Rob Rucker and some of the other guys. What's it been like mentoring them and seeing them learn an offense that you played for 2 years when you were their age?
For sure. No, I think there's been a lot of growth from each and every one of them. I think they all bring a lot of different things to the table, which is super cool. But just a lot of growth from day one. In the spring or winter workouts to now, it's night and day, and just to see their growth, man, I'm super proud of them.
We're going to put Brent, AP, second row.
Yeah, so you've made this transition. Now you're the quarterback at the University of Oklahoma. What about being that person in that position has surprised you as you've walked around campus and talked to people or listened to what people have to say to you?
I think as of right now, I really haven't done anything on the field. So, walking around, man, I'm just, the same old dude. But, just for me, I think I hold myself to a higher standard in the way I carry myself, in a positive way, though. The way I lead, the way I interact in the building, and then likewise, just how I am on the field. I think it's all aspects in life. I don't take this position lightly, and I know it's a privilege to be in this position. So.
All right, Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Dillon, I want to ask you about the young receivers and the progress you've seen out of those guys specifically, Jaden and Nick. How has your connection with them grown over these last few weeks, and where do you feel like each one of those guys stand?
I think Jaden Gibson and Nick Anderson are super talented. You can't teach, athleticism and their build and what they can do. But also, I think they're super hardworking, and the way they attack every single day. And I think when you're a freshman, especially an early freshman, early enrollee, I think there's just a lot more challenges that just any typical freshman would go through. First, they should be going to graduation, going to prom, and things like that. But they're here, and they made that decision, to get ahead and to better themselves. So I'm super proud of them and how they continue to fight every single day. Whether it's a good or bad day the day before, they're just continuing to attack every single day.
You talk about just the physical makeup of those guys. Jaden, the size, how big is that, and how different is it from all the other guys you've got?
Super different. The ability to back shoulder, the ability to stretch the field, and then just the catch radius. The margin of error is obviously a lot easier for us. But like I said, you can't teach that. And he's not just big; he knows how to put it all together. So that's something really special about him.
Appreciate it, Dillon. Let's go to Jesse Crandon, Norman Transfer.
Hey, Dillon, to kind of build on that, I wanted to ask you about Marvin Mims. You mentioned, you guys got in contact pretty soon after you committed. Just what were those initial conversations like with him, and what have the last few weeks been like, just developing chemistry with him?
Initial conversations, man, just really trying to get to know Marvin and, grow as a friend and grow that, friendship. But as we continue on with spring, I mean, he's one of the best I've been around. Speed, all-around receiver, very physical. And usually from speed guys, you don't really see that. So that's something very new. But just all around, man, he goes up and gets it, and he's extremely talented.
Bob Brisbane, Sooner Scoop.
Dillon, we asked a lot of the coaches today what they want on a Saturday. What's Saturday going to be like for you? Are you going to be excited? Are you going to be calm? Does it mean something to you?
For sure, no, it definitely does. I'm glad you asked that just because, a lot of things have been going a million miles per hour since I got here, right? Just trying to be focused, trying to keep the main thing. But now, kind of being on the back end of spring ball, man, I'm super grateful to be here. I love this place. I love the people I'm around. And then something I always, think about is I love what I do, where I do it, and who I do it with. So whenever that aligns, man, I'm grateful. And, to run out in front of Sooner Nation, that'll be super fun.
Go to Jenny Carlson, the Oklahoma.
Hey, Dillon. Baker Mayfield's getting a statue honored this weekend. Kind of curious if you watched a lot of him over the years, anything that you're, as a fellow quarterback, what impresses you about him? And I assume you guys will have a chance to interact
for sure
with him. What are you hoping to talk to him about?
For sure. No, I'm gonna be excited to meet him. Obviously, watch him from afar, and got a lot of respect for him and what he's done for, Oklahoma. He's done a bunch, won a bunch of games, but most importantly, just the passion he has for the game and Oklahoma. Man, it's real. So I'm gonna be super excited to meet him. Hopefully, be able to further talk and get into a deeper conversation. But yeah, super excited to meet him.
Anything in specific? I mean, he's held that, as Cliff was asking, you have that name,
Yep.
starting quarterback of Oklahoma. Anything that you think he might be able to impart that other people in the world maybe don't have to impart on you?
I think the biggest thing is he's played the position and has played it here on every single level, in the NFL here, even back at Tech. I think there's just so much I can learn from him and, his whole journey. So I'm excited to, just dive deeper into that.
Okay, let's go to John Hoover, SI Sooners.
I want to, Dillon, expound on the question about young quarterbacks, specifically Nick. You mentioned guys going to prom.
Yep.
He's a guy that should be in high school right now.
Yep.
Yet he's here, he's learning, he's trying to get snaps and all that. What's impressed you specifically about him and his, I guess, attitude is what affects a lot of people?
I think just how he attacks every single day. I think going through the process myself of being an early enrollee, there's a lot of ups and downs. You're, an 18-year-old away from family, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out school, and then meanwhile trying to figure out football. Managing all that, I got a lot of respect for him because I've been through that process. But I mean, he's super talented. He can throw it. He can do anything you ask of him. And he continues to attack every single day, regardless of, the ups and downs. And that's for any early enrollee. But, the way he's been able to manage it is super impressive.
Yeah, we'll go in the back. Lee Benson, channel 9.
Hey, Dillon, from practice one to now, how would you assess the offensive line's growth and learning the offense? And I understand you're helping them out quite a bit as well with their development.
The five up front, man, they're super talented. I've never seen guys who are just, the full combination of, extremely intelligent, can move the way they do, and then while doing that with pass blocking can run block and be super physical all in one. So I'm super impressed by them, but also just how great of guys they are, how inviting they were and welcoming. So, man, I got a lot of love for the O-line, and they've been really impressive so far.
Eli Letterman, Tulsa World.
Dillon, when we talked to you and the other guys in the offense that first week, it was a lot of finding your footing, figuring out this offense.
Yep.
4 weeks later, what do you feel like has been the biggest progression kind of between you and the receivers in finding that flow?
I think just growth over time. I think whenever you're getting, a bunch of reps of it, mental, and of course on the field, there's going to be growth. I'm just super impressed of how fast we've continued to grow from day to day. Those days in between, we're watching film and just growing from that. Each day has gotten better through adversity. We've learned too that being able to grow and make strides every single day, it just shows the continuity we have together and what we'll be able to do.
I think part of the discussion that day was that this was going to be a Levy offense, but it would be somehow different maybe from the one you played involved in some
For sure.
ways, without maybe giving up all the state secrets.
For sure.
What's changed?
No, I've had to learn myself, just in general. I think everyone continues to evolve verbiage, terminology, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's continued to evolve, and I got to learn myself. There'll forever be new plays within, everyone's offense year to year. So there's been challenges myself, but continue to get back into it. It's definitely helped having prior knowledge for sure.
Okay, Justin Martinez, Joe Bowman.
Appreciate your time today. It seems like everyone we talked to has pretty much said that since the day you got here, you really embraced that leadership role and someone that players can come and talk to right away. Is that leadership responsibility, is that something you have always embraced? Is it something you kind of had to learn to grow into? Just what was that process like?
I think I just learned it from a young age, right? Even in high school, from a freshman, being, started on varsity. I'm 14 in front of 18-year-olds, having to lead them. And then, of course, being a starting freshman in college, being 18, having to lead 23, 24, 25-year-olds, right? I just got a lot of knowledge. I've learned a lot. Continue to embrace the role because it's true, man. I touch the ball every single play. The biggest thing is having the belief, from those guys in me, and then likewise, belief in those guys with me. So I think the leadership position is the quarterback position because you touch the ball every single play, and you got to trust every single one.
Yeah, and a lot of it is also just personal relationships.
For sure.
I've heard about you taking guys out there, guys coming to your house and stuff like that.
Yep.
How much easier does that make the game when you have that personal connection with guys as opposed to just the X's?
That's something. It's just so pure and not something you have to try and force to do. I think it's just who I am. I love being around guys that love ball, and they love football. So, man, if it's going out to eat, that's fun to me. If it's coming over, watching some film, or just chopping it up, man, I love the guys we have on our team, and I'm really great friends with a lot of them. So.
Left side, let's go to Austin Curtright.
Hey, Dillon. Coach Venables has talked about, he said today Tom Ward, Lane Johnson came to talk to the team. I know in the past, over social media, tons of other former players that came to talk to the team. Is that something that's pretty unique to sort of have, he talks about like creating a village and having this supportive, group of players you get to interact with?
No, it's super unique. I think the biggest thing when they come back is, man, it's a privilege to play here. For every single one of us, man, we're super blessed every single day. We get to walk in the building, everything's ready for us. We just got to attack, and just having guys come back, man, those are guys you watch and continue to look up to. That's why I'm super, excited for the spring game, be able to meet a bunch of guys who played here that love this place so much. I can just see the passion they have for here. And Sooner Nation, and how much passion they have for this football team, man, it's special for sure.
Coach Venables said that the spring game will be playing for a little bit for both teams. Is there anything you have to prepare differently for that? Obviously, I'm sure it's helpful being to play with the full offense, I guess, but is there anything different there?
I don't think so. I think it'll just be a lot of fun. I'm just excited to run out there with the guys, and we'll see what happens. Whichever team I run out for, let's do it.
Okay, far left side, Kerry Murdoch.
Hey, Dillon. I assume there was a comfort level with Coach Levy being here. But it seems like it's a little bit more unknown when you come into a position where the coach is a lifelong defensive coach, the head coach. What's kind of been that relationship, and how is that built? And then has Brent kind of gone out of his way to kind of let you know that he's behind you as the quarterback?
I just feel like it's so pure. It never really crossed my mind like that, man. Like, I feel so comfortable being able to talk to him like it is Coach Levy, which is totally, something I'm very new to. But just being able to go out there and talk to him regardless, in passing or just going up to his office and, being able to talk comfortably and not feel, closed off about it. It's a super good feeling. But having a defensive-minded head coach is definitely different. To open my mind to a lot of things, a lot of situational football. So, I'm super happy I'm being able to play for Coach BV.
Is this the first coach that just commands a microphone all throughout practice that you ever?
That's different, for sure. That's another addition to some different things I'm used to. But I think it's cool too. It's just unique. He demands a lot, but man, he loves us even harder. So whenever you have that, you can demand a lot from all the guys.
Is it easy for guys to just kind of feed off of him because he is, he's out there working out, he's out there doing stretches with you guys.
Stretches, push-ups, he's doing everything. I think it means a lot more because he's with us, he's doing it with us actively. So whenever you have that, I mean, it's new to me, but you just feel, more connected.
Any more questions for Dillon? Jenny?
What ice cream did you have after? Sprinkles, no sprinkles, chocolate?
I had this strawberry. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a huge sweets guy, but The strawberry one was.
Is there something wrong with you? No sweets?
I don't know. I'm not a huge sweets guy, but I do like some ice cream for sure.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
And Jay Upchurch.
You mentioned Baker and the passion he kind of brings to the field and stuff. How important is that, and do you feel like you have a little bit of that in you when you hit the field?
For sure. I think everyone, you could say, has a little bit of that when you hit the field, man. It's definitely why we play the game, why we love it so much. That's why I respect, Baker so much, is the way he plays with passion, how his energy is infectious. Every time he scores, you'll see him running down the field and enjoying every single second of it. So on that end, I just respect, the way he plays the game and the love he has for it.
Thank you, Dillon.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Dillon.